What is one thing that you have to have in your purse?
Lip balm.
Okay.
I hate dry lips. That's my pet peeve, dry lips.
Describe this past year in one word.
Challenging.
Where are you today? One word.
Content. And I think content as a state of being can be very misunderstood. Content is the best place to be. When I am in bed at 9 p.m. with my dog and my husband, I am so content and happy and fulfilled. Because being content, I think, means being fulfilled.
Yeah, agreed. What do you believe the antidote to shame is?
I think the antidote to shame is being able to talk about it. I think what we're doing right here, having a conversation about it, opening up a conversation about it, I think it's talking about what shame is and what shame isn't. Shame is going to come in life, but it is not going to control your life. And it is not going to rule your life.
Gotta stop you there. It does rule and control some of our lives, doesn't it?
But it doesn't have to.
Right.
Is what I mean.
Yeah.
Shame is going to come, but it doesn't have to rule your life. And shame is going to make us feel like we're not enough and we're less than and we don't deserve something. But it doesn't have to. When I realized this is totally not what God wants for me and for my life, and his promises for me are the opposite of what I'm feeling, is when I had such a big realization that I do not have to walk through life with this holding on to me. And it changed everything for me, honestly. Like, I feel like I have grown the most I ever have in my life in this last year, because at the end of the day, I kept having to go to Jesus. He was the only answer through all the hurt I was going through, all the pain I was going through, all the shame, all the confusion.
Why did it come to a head this past year? All the shame, all the confusion. Do you think it came up because you were married?
I think it's because I married the right person. I think when you marry the right person, they're like a reflection. And when you marry the right person, they, in love and gently, are going to call those things out.
They're going to tell you like it is.
Tell you like it is.
Yes.
And I'm so lucky and I'm so grateful that I married someone who would look at me and say, I love you, but that ain't it.
That ain't it. And I think a lot of times we don't realize that when shame and guilt, or for me, I can speak personally, like when I got married to Brian and I'm feeling that shame and that guilt, it overtook me because I felt like,
same with me.
I was like, oh my God, I was comparing myself. I didn't feel like I was being this wife that, maybe he needed me to be because of the past.
Right. I've always dreamt of having a family and being married and being happy. And then I stepped into the start of that and was like, wait a second, I don't know if I can be that, because I'm so consumed by my life before this. And I'm so consumed by the decisions I made in my past. And luckily, I have a great partner who walked me through it and helped me. And, he's had his own journey with shame and his own struggle. And luckily, we were able to talk about it and work through it together. What's your story? What's my story? Why do you feel this way? Why do I feel this way? How can we move past it together? How can we work through this together? How can we support each other in letting go of our shame?
That's the key right there. I believe in order to be healed from your shame, you have to reveal it.
Yeah.
We have to confront the past. We have to be transparent 100%. And talk about it.
And that, I think, also is a good topic in terms of, because, you and I are both married and we're talking a lot about like in our marriage. But there's so many people who are single and who are tormented with feeling guilty and tormented with feeling shame and all different kinds of feelings. And that is where I would get into the conversation of community is so important to, it's our lifeline, essentially. The Bible is so clear about what community should be for us. And I was really lucky I had those people before I was married to go to, you being the one, like one of the best people in my life who I could come to and say, here's what's going on. I know you didn't judge me. That's what I think is important for single men and women, or even if you're in your dating life, wherever you're at in life, to have that community of people or those few solid people who are gonna tell you that ain't it.
That ain't it.
And help you work through it before, hopefully before you reach being married. But I will say, I think being married brings things to the surface that you didn't know were there.
That's good too.
I think your life purpose changes as in different phases of your life. So currently, I think that my purpose is to be in this place, yes, and to do this. And I think that the bigger purpose behind it is for me to be a light in this place.
Lastly, in season 1, you told me that you felt like your purpose was ever evolving, that it changes in different seasons. What do you feel like your purpose is today?
It's so funny because I remember where I was when we filmed your first season, where I was internally, where I was as a person. I was single. I was just doing my thing. And my vision was not as clear for what I wanted in life as it is now. I think stepping into this new season of life with a partner, I think that my purpose right now is to shed some light on to shed light on these conversations, to bring awareness to these kind of sticky subjects, and maybe the like.
Why do you think they're so sticky?
I think they're sticky because we don't want to talk about them. What I think is so cool about this new generation in our culture is that I do feel like maybe the culture before us, maybe our parents, was a generation where they didn't talk about it a lot, to be honest. There was a lot of things that were crass and that weren't appropriate, and, you know, we don't talk about those things, and, you know, we keep it very hush-hush.
Yeah.
What I think is cool about our generation is that we're trying to scream it from the rooftops. Like, this is real. I feel this way. Let's talk about it. And I want to be a part of that shift. And I want to be a part of that movement, shedding light to the darkness. And I think that that's happening in so many different parts of this culture. I think that there is new conversations happening in every aspect of life right now. And I just feel like my purpose is to use my voice for that. Use my voice to tell people about the freedom of Jesus, about the love of Jesus, about mine and my husband's story. I think we have such an enormous story, and I want that to keep unfolding, and I want us to use our hurt and our shame and our guilt and all the ugly stuff that we both went through together and separately to help other people.